My name is Nancy Ungerman, and I'm interviewing today Jim Hazan-Cohen.
Jamie,
okay, good. I was going to ask you that. And it's the 28th of August, 2013, and we are at the, I always want to say the Julius Sheps Community Center, but at our Jewish Community Center. Hello. My question was going to be, do you go by Jamie, Jim, James, but it's Jimmy? Correct?
Yeah, that's when they call me by my name.
Yes.
Some of the time they call me something else.
Well, I'll call you Jimmy. How long, I understand you were not born here. You were born in Cuba?
Havana, Cuba.
Yeah, Cuban. And then you moved?
I moved to the United States in October 1960.
October 60. Dallas, Texas?
No, to Florida, and then I was relocated over here by the highest service to Dallas.
So, and you've been here, what, for?
53 years.
53 years. Well, they say you're a native after 53 years. I've been here for 53 years, and I don't feel like a native. Does your family live here?
My parents came. I came with my dad, and then my mother and my brothers and my sisters came back.
Tell me about your family. Were they born in Cuba, or did they?
Well, my dad was born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
We're Sephardic Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was born in Cuba.
Mm-hmm. Did you live a religious life in Cuba?
Yes, we did. We were actually, in Cuba, the majority of the Jews were Orthodox Jews.
Cuba, I wouldn't imagine you met with anti-Semitism, did you?
Yes, we did.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
At an early age, you know, I remember when we got out of school, which was a Jewish school, day school, and we were wearing our kippah. We had to take it out and run through the neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Really?
so we experienced that. That they used to call us polacos, which means Polish. They didn't realize that, you know, that not all Jews were Polacks. Okay, and so that's what they used in Spanish, was a polacos. So you have to go through that process, which you learn to ignore and to, you know.
Mm-hmm. That was the Castro era.
No, that was in 1940s to the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Castro came in 1959.
59,
Mm-hmm.
and you left in 60.
And then we lived in 60, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would that be the reason why you got out of there, because of the?
Yeah, we got out of there because of communism,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So my parents actually decided to come to the United States, but I came first with my dad, and then I was going to law school at that time, and then my brother was going to medical school. So we were against Castro from the very beginning, so we decided to leave. After I left, the next day, my brother was put in prison and by the Castro regime, and he served 4.5 years in prison.
Really?
Prison.
What were the charges?
The charge was subversion against the regime, the revolution.
So you were active in the resistance?
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any other brothers and sisters?
I have two, well, my brother is now here in the United States for many years already, and I have two sisters that came also at the same, a little bit later after I did, with my dad. And my mother came right after.
Do you think they were looking for you, and that's why you got out so quick?
Well, I knew they were looking for us, yeah, I mean, because one of the comments was, when they were apprehending my brother, is that they They say, well, the other bird flew over, so. So,
Yeah. Your neighborhood was predominantly or all Jewish? You all
at one point in time it was, okay, it was like in old Havana, there was a Jewish ghetto, and also there was the black ghetto, and you know, it was a small old Havana. But then after we, I think in probably 1950, we moved to another section of Havana, which was not a ghetto per se.
I see.
Okay.
And what was the Jewish population there?
It was probably about, in Havana, probably about 10,000. Yeah, at that time, it was about
So it was
10,000.
an active community.
Mhm.
Yeah. What is your career?
Well, I went to law school in Havana, and then I left. When I left, I was in my third year of law school, and then I came to the United States, and when I came to Dallas, I worked for a Jewish company. Well, it was not a Jewish company, but it was owned by Jewish people, and the Glazer family. Okay, and
Liquor, right? The liquor.
The liquor,
Yeah.
they have their wholesale liquor, but they used to have a franchise of the Pepsi-Cola bottling company in Dallas. They have also a drink they created themselves, which was a woozy drink, woozy.
I know.
Okay, and that I worked for, after I was working in there for about a year and a half, Max Glazer, which was one of the owners, okay, came to me and asked him, are you going to school? And I say, well, no, I cannot afford it. So he said, what school you want to go to? I said, well, I don't know, I mean, any school, I mean, and he said, I will tell you what I want you to do. I want you to go to SMU and roll over there and send me the bill.
No.
So that's, from there on, I went to SMU. I was working actually part-time at Pepsi-Cola, which at one point in time I became the controller. And then they paid for my education at SMU until I graduated. And then after I graduated, I worked a little bit for them, and then I started working for a local CPA firm. And then
As an attorney?
as a
yeah.
CPA.
As a CPA.
Okay. Actually as an accountant. Okay, and then after that, I was offered a job with Pricewaterhouse and Company. So I worked for them for about 3 years.
Here in Dallas?
In Dallas. And then after that, the family started a business, and they needed a controller, so I worked for them for several years. And then after that, my brother and I and my dad, we opened a wholesale business of textiles. And we were in that business for 28 years. And
You're a man of all trades.
oh, yeah. So after 28 years, we decided to close the business. My brother had a stroke, so he was not feeling, so we decided to close the business and retire. That was about 10 years ago. So after being at home retired for a few years, I decided that I always been giving orders, but at that time I was gave orders by my wife. So I decided I better look for something else, rather than being at home. So
Did you decide that, or did she?
It's debatable. So she said, look for something else than being at home. So I do a lot of consulting work in the accounting profession. So that's what I do right now, part-time as a contractor. Company called me and they have a problem, mainly in the what do you call it? and in forensic accounting work.
Mhm.
They're looking for fraud, examinations, and so on. And that's what I'm doing right now.
I wonder what you're gonna do next year.
Well, God willing, I probably will just completely don't do any anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
How did you meet your wife?
Well, I met her in Dallas, and I was 30 years old, and she was just only 20. But I didn't know at the time I was going to go. I went to a party at the Anatole bar mitzvah, and then my sister insisted that for me to go because she wanted me to meet some Jewish girl. So I went over there. I met her, and happened that there was some relationship. Actually, she used to have families in Cuba, and we are Sephardic Jews. Okay, so we actually, I knew some of her aunts in Cuba, or actually, her grandmother sister was living in Cuba, so we had some kind of relationship, you know, something in common. That from there on, that was the last person I dated. So after a year, we got married. And
Did she have a career?
she was going to North Texas.
Mhm. How many children do you have?
We have 2 children, a boy and a girl. One is, my son is 39 years of age, and my daughter is 33. He's an attorney, and she's not an accountant, but a financial advisor for Grant Thornton, director.
Your Jewish affiliations now, what?
It's Tiferet Israel.
Tiferet Israel.
Mhm.
Has there been any great influence in your life as far as a person or relative influencing you? You're quite accomplished.
In what I think the major influence in me was I guess my parents. I mean, the way that they adapt themselves to a different life when they came over here, and did well.
Am I leaving out anything? Is there anything you'd like to add that?
No, basically that's in a nutshell the story of life.
What's the Cuban population here?
In Dallas, you have about probably about at least that I know about 40 families,
Mhm.
40, 50 families in Dallas.
I've left out grandparents.
Mhm.
Were your grandparents, did they land in Cuba too?
Well, on my dad's side, they came after World War II. My mother they were already there.
Mhm.
And yeah, my dad came to America when he was, I think in the 20s, 1921, something like that. And he was born in 1907, so pretty young.
So that was after World War I.
World War I, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Okay.
very much. This was a terrific interview.
Yeah?
Learned a lot. If ever you become a tour guide to Cuba, let me know.
Okay.
I couldn't go back.
It's a Jewish school, Havana, Cuba, Israel. We all organize in our own manner. So, I mean, like I said, my kids went to Akiba Academy. Okay, and that's Orthodox in a sense. I mean, anybody can go to Akiba, but I said that mainly they're more Orthodox.
What
And,
universities did they go to?
My son went to Brandeis University,
Mhm.
and then he graduated from law school at SMU. And my daughter went to University of Florida, but she wanted to party university. So, and then she got her MBA at University of Texas in Dallas. That's where she got her MBA.
Do you have grandchildren?
We have 3 grandchildren from my sons. They're both married. 3 boys. They all go to Akiba. Also.
What outside activities do you have, particularly pertaining to the Jewish community?
Well, my wife, I've always been very active in the Jewish community, and I've been supporting her. So she was president of Akiba Academy,
Oh.
The board. And she was also president of the PTA. She had been involved with the Akiba, with ZOA, with the Jewish Family Service, and Meals on Wheels, the Coleman Foundation. So that's how she entertained herself.
I see.
And of course, you know, on my business, which was in the textile business, I had to travel a lot. So she.
Have your children followed the lead?
No, they like I say, I mean, one is an attorney.
As far as volunteer work?
Volunteer work, yes. I think my son's now in the board of directors of Tiferet. I was in the board of directors of Tiferet for several years, or treasurer of Tiferet. I was also on the board of Akiba Academy. And that's part of, I mean, she was very active on ZOA too. So we participated in a lot of activities at ZOA, bringing a lot of, actually, we were both honored by the by Bnei Akiba at a dinner in which Ariel Sharon was supposed to come, but it was a problem at that time at the Knesset, so he couldn't come. So he sent in a representative, which was Netanyahu. And his brother were here, and the dinner was in our honor. And
What was the date on that?
I may be able to. We had some pictures and all that with it, and also she was instrumental also in bringing the ex-senator to COA from New York. I think he just recently passed away. I was going for president at one time. I can't remember his name.
Ribikoff?
No. This is a senator from New York. I can't even think of his name. And it was like I said, and she organized a lot of activities in the Jewish community for many, many years.
Have things changed? Have you noticed a change, and what are they between, you got here in 1960, we're up to 2013. How have you experienced, the city has changed, but how
The
have
city
you
has changed
experienced?
tremendously. In other words, when we came, there were 3 synagogues, I think. There was Temple Emmanuel, Temple Shalom, and Tiferet and Tiferet Israel, right? And now you have, hello?
Yeah.
But it have changed a lot of into a lot of more conservative, not conservative, but Orthodox Judaism. A lot of it, which was not that popular at one point in time here. they were saying. So we also belong to Chabad House, to the Chabad in Plano, and I don't know. She takes care of all that.
Yeah. Well, I think I covered it. Did I, Ruth? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.